I labeled the VE Monk the best £5 I've spent in a very long time. And that wasn't that long ago. If you go back into my YouTube history, you'll see that I reviewed this maybe just a few weeks ago. And they've already come out with another one. So this, for clarification, is the original VE Monk. And I don't think they make these anymore. Why? Because they've come out with the Monk Plus. Now, let's just take a look at how they look. VE Monk, the original. Monk Plus. So the Monk Plus has a transparent casing and a little bit more, definitely sturdier plastic. The original VE Monk has a that really cheap first Walkman kind of plastic that I talked about in my video. This feels a lot more premium. You can see the drivers. You can see what's going on inside, and for it actually says VE Monk on it, whereas the original just had a So differences in build quality, definitely. The VE Monk Plus is better. The VE Monk's cable is just as sturdy as the original, but it's a bit shorter, just a tiny bit shorter. I can't really show it on camera, but yeah, definitely the VE Monk Plus has a shorter cable. But, Also, as you can see, the original Monk has a longer connecting span than the Monk Plus. These are both gold plated from the looks of it. So, you've got build quality improvements, which I've talked to Wildly, and he assures me that they did this because the original Monk would not really last that long. He said eventually these would break down, and they couldn't do anything about that. So what they did was they revamped it all, used higher quality build grade materials to make the Monk Plus. So higher quality build, but same price. Now that is very impressive to me personally. That you don't usually see expansions for things being the same price. Recently, the Liquid Carbon went on sale again by Cavalli Audio, and they bumped the price up $200 per unit. And they're giving extra benefits, and they've made a few changes and stuff. But still, you don't usually see something come out following the original product for the very same price. So, kudos to Venture Electronics for that. So, sound quality wise, when I first put on the Monk Plus, I was a bit surprised. It sounded a bit thin to my ears. On this bass, like the original Monk, I really praised the soundstage. The soundstage in these is great, even better. The imaging, even better. And the resolution, so much better. Trust me on that one. I've heard things on these earbuds, that I haven't heard in some of my top grade stuff that I've owned in the past. This really brings out stuff in songs. However, I found the bass to be lacking compared to the original, and the overall sound signature was a bit more cold. So I was wondering, why is this happening? Like, what could be causing this? Like, why would they change? I actually went ahead and messaged Wildly, and I said to him, hey man, why did you change the sound signature? Your this would be, the original sound signature was award-winningly great. Why would you change it? And he told me it was a consequence of the different build materials, and it's actually better, and I should experiment more with it. So I did. Originally, I was just using one foam on it, which it turned out, unbeknownst to me, when I put on the original Monk foam on this one, if I put this foam with this level of thickness on the Monk Plus, it sounds muddy as hell. So that was my first clue that something is going on here. These are a lot more neutral. These they don't want you to clog these up with too much foam. It'll give you a lot of bass, a lot of subwoofer effect, but you'll really miss out on this, on the overall benefits that this gives you, the really hi-fi sound of these earbuds. So what you want to do is, if you do want the warmth of the original Monk, you could use two foams. Now these foams are not the oh wait, sorry, that's the original Monk. This one, now this is a rubber circle, and underneath it are two foams. Now the new Monk foams are thinner than the original ones. In fact, let me just show you everything that it came with. Look at all of this. This is the deluxe pack, by the way, and I think they've sold out of those now, but definitely worth it, because look at all this. You can have so many options with these. These are all the same thickness, but they're thinner than the original basically. So if you use two of these, it'll still be clear, and then if you used one of the original on the new Monk Plus. So you get this packet, you get this packet, and then you get this packet. Just so much foam. And then also some really neat little rubber circles for the extra traction for when you're out and about. Black circles, also rubber. And then, I haven't really put these on yet, but I'm really impressed by how they look. You get two sizes too, by the way. This is the small one and the large one. Air hooks. Rubber air hooks. So you get a lot of customization when you buy the deluxe pack, for certain. And that is good, because the Monk Plus is probably one of the best audio equipment that I've ever had in terms of customizing. It's not like the Vibro where you can put in little bass ports and then, reduce or increase the bass. No, it's not like that. But what this is this is the most high quality canvas you can ask for in headphones, earbuds. What do I mean by that? I mean, if you put these on your ears as they are, without any covering, you will hear the full resolution sound. You will hear the huge, expansive soundstage and everything, all the benefits. But if you put one pad on, full pad, it'll still be the same level of clarity. It won't be dampened that much. You put two pads on, the damping will be 5%. Now 5%, that is not that much. You would think that it would be completely stifled by that, but no. It'll bring out more warmth, it'll bring out more bass, but this responds very well to extra stuff being put on. Maybe that's why they've packaged so much stuff in there. And in terms of another thing I like to do with these, with the original Monk, I couldn't really listen to EDM music. I couldn't really listen to electronic pop music because I found it to be a little too shrill in the vocals, and the bass was, I thought, a bit lacking in the sub bass. I mean, obviously it was going to do that because it's an earbud, But these really impress me with the sub bass performance even, because if I do this, I put the ring around the side, and I put two foams on. First of all, this gives me increased isolation for when I'm out and about. I was wearing these outside today, and it was okay. It wasn't that bad, considering that this is a very open design. And if you use equalization on this, like, I'll put a link in the description for what equalization setting I use for like EDM. Basically a little bit of a bass boost. It sounds great with these. You can EQ these, like I said, a great canvas. This responds very well to equalization. This responds very well to little bits of customization with your AirPods and all this stuff. The original Monk was not that versatile. And even when you do these differences, you can really hear the resolution increase in the Monk Plus. I used the example last time of Fleetwood Mac's song Dreams. Well, I went ahead and listened to it with this, It is far, far better to my ears. The vocals are far clearer. The separation is much better. And separation is just it's it's like if the vocals were here before, and this is quite wide in my view for the original Monk. They're even further away. So I was hearing the song in a completely new light. And that part where I said I heard something I never heard on audio gear before was because of this quality, and it was because I heard a really, really cool organ part, which I had never heard before. So I was really impressed by these in that regard. So these are a higher ohm impedance than the original. This is a card that came with the original Monk. As you can see, it's 32 ohms here. This is 62 ohms, 64 ohms, sorry. So they could benefit with some amping, definitely. Another thing about these is that I find these to be less preferable to me when I'm using it with my FIO X1 player. I find it actually better when I use it with the colored sound of my Samsung Galaxy S6. Now, whereas with this it's the opposite. I like this better with my FIO. This really told me the FIO is just a mid-range player. This says to me, dude, you need an Abasa, you need something better than that, to play me properly. And I respect that, VE Monk. I didn't think something that was $5 would ever tell me that sort of thing. But yeah, definitely, this will scale pretty well with your equipment. So definitely run this through any kind of portable amp that you have. Run it through your actual amp. I've played it with my shit audio Magni 2, and it sounds good. This configuration, as you can see, very good for outdoors for me. But like when I posted it on the Head5 forums for this item, someone said they need to grow bigger air holes for this. And yeah, I guess that would make this is a bit too big for most people, I guess. But I think if you are into electronic music, this is superior to the Monk. This is superior to the Monk in most ways, actually. It's just that when you put them on for the first time, you might not hear that because the original Monk is more colored. This is more neutral, and you really need to customize your experience with the earphones. Definitely. And I really like the blue ones. I should really have like a blue and red design. Also, some people have told me that what they do is they'll put on two foams and then they'll poke holes in the middle for more of the sound, more of the highs to come out. I don't really want to do that yet, even though I have all these air foams. I can experiment away. I'll try that later. Right now I'm just having fun like this. So, overall, I would say this is a stellar product. For the same price, by the way. Stellar product. And just, amazing. I have to thank Wildly for sending me these. Just so soon after having the original Monk, I realized what the Monk Plus is better for. Even though it took me a little while, I see it now. So thanks for checking out my review, and I'll see you in the next one.